Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Tuesday the 5th of September. I'm Nigel Croft. In this video we'll be looking at the charts on the Aussie dollar versus the US dollar, which has got the code AUD USD. What we'll see is that the key technical factor on these charts is the 200-week moving average. It's right on the spot and is down tracking and is giving resistance. When you look at the daily and look at the 4-hour charts, they look positive, but we do need to break through that resistance of that 200-week moving average. Let's look at the charts. So for a change, I'm going to start by looking at the weekly. So each candle on this chart represents the weekly, and as you can see, I always do my weeklies on the black background just to differentiate in the videos. And you can see immediately we've got this downtrend in red line. That's the 200-week moving average, and it is the dominant factor for the Aussie dollar at the moment. You can see that we're basically trading right on it, and that over the last 5 weeks this has created the resistance that's stopped the Aussie dollar moving forward. Also on this chart you can see that it is positive. We've had a golden cross as the 20s crossed the 50. We've broken through previous resistance. Yes, we are up to other resistance levels dating back to May 2015. The momentum is positive. The RSI is presently 65.72 and the MACD are also positive as the short term's above the longer term. But it's that 200-week that needs to be broken. Let's now look at the daily. And here you can see that we've had a bit of resistance from the downtrend in 20-day moving average. That's now moving back up, so will give support and could actually give the market a push upwards. Here we had golden crosses all along the moving averages. So the 20 crossed the 50 on the 13th of June. Then it crossed the 200 26th of June, and then we had the 50 crossing the 200 on the 14th of July. So all very positive on the moving averages. Momentum, we have lost a bit of the upside momentum. We're tending to trend sideways now, but it is still above 50, 59.05, so is still showing some positive momentum. And if we did actually get a push up through 0.8, you would see this momentum on the RSI pick up, which would be positive. And the MACD, like the RSI, as I said, it's flatlining at the moment. The MACD are flatlining and aren't showing any positive or negative momentum at the moment. Going on to the 4-hour chart, and here likewise we've had a positive picture on the moving averages. We've had golden crosses created as the 20 crossed the 50 and as the 50 crossed the 200. They're quite close to the spot, so we'll give immediate support, which is good, and they could give the push up through the short-term resistance about the point at the just below the 0.8 level. Here the positive momentum has returned. We've had a good last 12 hours. We've had 3 white soldiers there, which is good, and it's brought in positive momentum. The RSI is now ticked up to 60.74. No sign of that yet in the MACD, but it would only take another 4-hour uptick, and that I'm sure we would see a divergence on the short term away from the long term. So looking at the support resistance levels on the Aussie, and there's resistance at 0.8043, that's from the 8th of August, then 0.8066, 27th of July, with supports on that 50 from the 4-hour at 0.794 and from the 20-day 0.792. So that's been TA for traders, having a look at the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. the key takeaways from the video should be that we're at this key resistance on the weekly. That 200-week moving average needs to be broken. However, the daily and the 4-hour charts do look positive, and we are showing, especially on the 4-hour, good upside momentum. Although, as I said, on the daily, it does need to just tick up towards that 0.8. Also, which I didn't mention when we're going through the video, if you look at the short term, both the daily and the 4-hour, there's a potential reverse head and shoulder formation which would be positive. Please remember, these videos are for information only and are not meant as investment recommendations. I do a disclaimer at the end. Please do read it. I know most of you will click off before I actually play it, but if you do get time at one moment when you're watching my videos, please do read that disclaimer, because it gets me off the hook of FCA regulation. Thank you.